So 37 now we are reading. Yatharth anubhava chaturvidha, 4 types. Pratyaksha, anumiti, upamiti, shabda bheda. So there is perceptual cognition, true cognition, perceptual, inferential, anumiti, upamiti, analogical, and shabda, arising from a reliable sentence, that is from language. So you have, so the reality of the world will be reflected in any of these 4 types of true cognition. So this world given will appear here this is Prama. This Prama is of 4 kinds. Perceptual, inferential, analogical, and verbal. Prama is anubhava, yathartha anubhava. This yathartha anubhava can be either of the type of perception, perceptual, or pratyaksha. This is anumiti, upamiti, or shabda bodha. So this world will appear in any of these 4 types of true cognitions. And when such will be the case, that world will be claimed as real. So, Prama Vishaya is Satya. Prama Vishaya, the content of a Prama has to be real. Because what is Prama? Knowing X as X. Tadavati tat prakarakam. And such Prama is of the form of these 4. They all are Prama. Now, on what basis? I have divided this Prama into 4 varieties, 4 types. All are Prama, then one would have been sufficient. Why make category of 4? And that takes you to epistemology. The 4 types of Prama has emerged, the 4 Pramas have emerged through 4 processes. So the process involved for this is not the same process which is involved for this. Is not the same process which is involved for this. So there is a difference in the process, and therefore there are difference in the result. The first variety is the direct process, pratyaksha, and the three indirect. So you have these three, you can say indirect, and this is direct. Through direct process. And through indirect process. So these three have emerged from through indirect process, and the first one has emerged from direct process. The knower has acquired them. This prama will be where? In the knower. The prama will be in pramata. The prama, the adhara of prama will be the pramata. So the pramata has acquired these four types of prama through four different processes. So these are the results, the terminating point of the process. So these are the effects of the process. If they are the effects, then there has to be the cause or instrument. These pramas are not already existent in pramatri, no? If they are always there, he need not know. That is, he will be sarvagya. Ishvara is okay. But for jiva, these are to be acquired, and acquired through a process. And jiva has been designed in that way, that there is a direct channel to know, and there are indirect way of knowing. So when directly he will know, the first variety of prama will emerge. And when indirectly he will know, the other three varieties will emerge. These processes corresponding to the results, these are called pramana. So, say pramana. Pramana, that is a process. Process of knowing. So this is a direct process of knowing. So this is pratyaksha pramana, call it. And this will be, anumiti will be through anumana pramana. Upamiti will be produced by the process called upamana pramana. So upamana pramana. And shabdabodha will be produced by shabda. So shabda pramana. Shabda is vakya, apta vakya. Now the term pramana has a connotation of instrumentality. Pramiyate anena iti pramanam. Through which you know. The process through which you know is a pramana. Pramiyate anena. So it is a karana karaka, instrument. So the idea of pramana is the idea of an instrument. But instrument, in what sense you should understand that is telling you it is a process. So process as an instrument. So through this, and that is why you can make a distinction between perceptual cognition, inferential cognition, analogical cognition, verbal cognition. All are cognitions. But the classifications have to be made in terms of the difference in the process. So these are the results, and this is the instrument which produces the result. So 4 results, correspondingly 4 instruments. An instrument is to be understood in what sense? Process. So pramana is an instrument of producing prama. So prama karanam pramanam. Pramana is prama karana. Prama karanam pramana. The instrument of prama is pramana. But the instrument I am asking you to believe, to understand it as process. Is this clear? So you will understand the text. Pratyaksha anumiti upamiti shabda bhedat yatharthanubhava chaturvidha. Tat karanam api chaturvidham. Naturally, their karana also are of 4 types. So these are the phala, result produced by those karana. But that karana you understand as process. So he says tat karanam api chaturvidham. And they are to be designated, they are called pratyaksha, anumana, upamana, shabda bheda. So pratyaksha pramana, anumana pramana, upamana pramana, and shabda. So 4 pramanas and correspondingly 4 prama. Karana means instrument. Any instrument. For example, hand is an instrument. Any tool that you use is an instrument. It's a general meaning. But in this context, you have to understand it as in this sense, by which you acquire knowledge. By which you acquire knowledge. So by which means by the process by which you acquire knowledge. So here the pramana should stand for process. Karana, that is process. So derivative meaning of the word pramana is instrument. But in this context you have to understand it as process. So you can see why we do this. So the philosopher is interested in arriving at the truth, the vastu, and that alone can be a vastu or reality if it is the content of Prama. So the world of our experience, world which appears as a content of our experience, if it is to be true, Satya, then it has to be the Vishaya of Prama. And that Prama can be either Pratyaksha Prama or Anumiti Prama or Upamiti Prama or Shabdabodha Prama. Okay. These four again you can, for your class, you classify direct, indirect. So directly you can have access, indirectly you can have access. That example I had given you, I repeat, that suppose I see fire with my eyes, it is a direct knowledge of fire, Pratyaksha Prama. Now I do not see fire, but what I see is a smoke. What I see is a smoke. I do not see the fire. But smoke is an effect of fire. So cause. So I can infer the cause from the effect. So again I come to know fire. This will be indirect way of knowing fire. Directly here, indirectly here. So this is a second category of knowledge of fire. First category of knowledge of fire will be perceptual knowledge of fire. Second, inferential knowledge of fire. Is it so? And somebody comes and tells you that there is a fire and he is a reliable person. Again you come to know fire. But that you know from the sentence uttered by that person. So language, when you decode, then you understand that there is fire. So there are different processes through which we arrive at the reality. So in all we have to summarize in this way that whatever is a content of a Prama is real. Truth, I think Nayayikas will not accept that degrees, but what they will say, the spashtata, maybe the clarity which you will have in perceptual, perhaps that clarity will not be appearing here, but nevertheless they are not false. They are all true. So Pratyaksha gives you a vivid picture. Therefore, I go for Sakshatkara. So Sakshatkara is direct access. So therefore, Pratyaksha is called Murdhanya Pramana. Murdhanya Pramana. Because there you have clear vividity, clear picture. Because if you infer fire from smoke, you cannot say that fire is not real. So, because you can go again and see, you can verify, you can collect fire, you can cook rice. So, there is no degrees of reality, nothing is involved. What is involved is only because it is indirect, that clarity which is provided by perception, that clarity is missing to a certain degree. That's all. But reality is not taken away. Because if they are not real, they cannot form the content of a Prama. All are Prama. Yeah. On this idea, so he may go wrong. So then in that case, if he has gone wrong, it will not be called Prama. If it is a Prama, then truth is there. Uh, So, until and unless it is disproved, until and unless disproved, it continues to be real. So, Supreme Court gives you the final judgment, but it does not mean that Supreme Court also cannot commit mistakes. They may also go wrong in inferring. So, if they decide, they can revise their judgment. Nevertheless, this is a tested method that all of them lead to reality. There is no question of degrees of reality. Only criterion being that if something is real, it has to be the content of a Prama. If it is not content of a Prama, then of course reality cannot be claimed.